taking on Tan Kian Meng and Lai Peijing of Malaysia in this third match on our show court today. Officials just moving into position on court, and just a reminder again, if you have just joined us, the 8 pairs in this mixed doubles split into 2 groups of 4. They each play the other pair in their group, or the other pairs in their group, and then the top 2 will advance to the semi-finals. The semis on Saturday, and the finals day will be on Sunday. Players will shortly be introduced on court.
Mixed doubles, Group B, Wang Yiri and Huang Dongping from China.
Chinese pair have got an unbeaten record against the Malaysians. 7 matches, 7 wins. Just wait until we see the Malaysians momentarily.
Versus Tan Kian Meng and Lai Peijing from Malaysia.
Tan and Lai. Delighted to say, joined by Steen Pedersen in the commentary box here, and I mentioned it 7-love on the head-to-head, Steen, and in fact 5 of those 7 matches have been won in straight games by Wang and Huang. Most recently the quarter-final of the Japan Open in September, and when you have that kind of a record over a specific opponent, psychologically for the opponent it must be very difficult just to try and get the belief that they can win against a pair they've never beaten.
Yeah, it definitely is. You've got to find something that you can convince yourself is going to make a difference compared to the previous meetings they met in Japan Open, the recent meeting. And that was also the last tournament that Wang Yilu has played, because he's been out with injuries. So perhaps that could sort of give a little bit of hope to Tan and Lai.
Well, there's the confirmation of that head-to-head we were mentioning, and that match in the Japan Open in straight games. That was only in September, as I said, so pretty fresh in the memory for both those pairs. Wang and Huang have obviously been #1 in the world in mixed doubles. First achieved that back in April of 2018. So let's give you a bit more information about the quartet on court, starting with the Chinese. I mentioned that Wang and Huang had been 1 in the world. They're currently ranked #4. They are the reigning Olympic champions, though, of course. They were the 2nd seeds in Tokyo last year. Got a bronze in the World Championships early this year in Tokyo. So 28 years of age, Wang. Huang is a year younger at 27. They do have a phenomenal CV, although only title this year has been the Korea Masters, and that was only a Super 300. They have lost in a couple of finals in Singapore and also in Birmingham. And on the other side of the net, the 2 Malaysians, Tan Kian Meng and Lai Peijing. There's Tan, 28 years of age, tall man. Originally a singles player when he started, and he switched to doubles 8 years ago now. The Commonwealth Games bronze in Birmingham. And his partner, Lai Peijing, won their biggest career title as a pair at the Korea Open, these two earlier this year. First won a tournament together 6 years ago. That was a small event in Vietnam. just suspect they'll need to start well just to get some self-belief, especially with the head-to-head as it is. Man in the chair is Fabio Betto of Italy. He looks Italian. And he will be assisted by service judge Satyawan Mahadu from Mauritius. Waiting for Wang to come on court, and I'm sure we'll be set for the umpire introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Wang Yilu and Wang Dongping, China. And on my left, Tan Tianmeng and Lai Beijing, Malaysia. Wang Dongping to serve to Tan Tianmeng. Love all. Blank.
Just as Steve was saying, that the Malaysians have to find something different if they're going to break this sequence of losses to their opponents today. It works the other way if the Chinese make a fast start. In Malaysia heads, you're almost thinking, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, and one thing that's a little bit ominous for the Malaysian pair is that this is their third appearance at the World Tour Finals, and they've never ever won a single game in the previous two appearances back in 2017, where they actually lost to their opponents of today. In the picture here, Huang and Wang. And then last year.
Crowd pleasing little shot. So basically they've lost 12 games on the spin.
Yeah. But I also must say that I feel that they've upped their game, so I think they have a better chance, if not in this match. Yeah, this is probably the toughest group stage match.
I mean, it must have been a massive, psychologically, confidence boost for them when they won that career open that I mentioned.
Yeah,
Super 500.
Exactly. First tournament win in 5 years for Tan and Lai, and a welcome one. They're playing as independent players, not part of the Malaysian national team, even though they have been invited to join mutual practice in the Badminton Academy Malaysia.
Dovetailing beautifully. We've seen it so often from Wang and Huang.
3. Service over 4-0.
That's the big question mark. That's Wang Yilu. Where is he in his recovery process? And also, I mean, what about the Chinese approach? They've got 7 wins, never lost to the Malaysians, so might creep in some complacency. And also, when you've been injured for a long while, the first time when you're back, you tend to think a little bit about the injury. I'm not totally sure what it was. I think it was his ribs. Wang Yilu, I feel that he's been playing injured a big part of this season here before finally taking time off to get some rest. But sometimes you play a little bit with the handbrake on, so to speak, because you're coming back from injury.
Yeah, you don't quite trust that it's completely okay. It takes a while. Having said that, and started safely enough. Well, not much wrong with that jump smash from Wang. Huang finishing it off.
6-5.
Yeah, try to play that. The shuttle was almost below the level of the net when he hit it, when he made contact. Let's have a look. Just into the top of the net.
And jumping a little bit upwards himself as well, and that makes it difficult to control that shot. You want to be jumping forward mostly. When you're jumping on the front court.
Oh, nicely done. Really well anticipated by Light.
7-6. Like this.
That's excellent put away there in the backhand side. And it's that's the first thing I feel that they've got to accomplish, Tan and Lai. They've got to play most of the rallies in the preferred mixed double formation with Lai at the front court. She's a typical front court player, really strong around the first quarter of the court. And as you mentioned, Trevor, Tan, a reschooled men's singles player, so good court coverage, but from below the tape, not the same sort of touch as if you've been a doubles player for the majority of your senior career. Recently played some men's doubles with Tan Wee-kyung, the former Olympic silver medalist as well. But not as successful as the mixed.
Service over 8-7.
He's got a pretty impressive wingspan as Tan Kian Meng, but no way he could get to that.
Well done. Good reply to the drive serve attempt from Huang Dongping. I don't think she really got the pace on it the way she wanted, but it still was a decent serve. He was alert, Tan Kian Meng. Good follow-up.
10-8.
Oi. Confusion.
Well, phenomenal piece of defence there from Lai Peijing. Just flicked the top of the net, but never mind.
And a very positive start to this first game for Tan and Lai. That's a brilliant defense.
Play.
So can they build on the momentum that they've established early in this match, the two Malaysians?
Great play.
12-8.
Look at the placement of this shot. Oh, the next one. Just in between them, outside the reach of Wang Yilu, but in the backhand side of Huang Dongping. So definitely she should normally not go for that one. And I noticed that there were no coaching on the Malaysian side with Lai and Tan, and that's due to the fact that on the adjacent court here, there's a women's doubles playing with Vivian Hu and her partner Lim, and they're also independent players. So there's 4 independent Malaysian pairs qualified for this tournament here, and there's only one coach, and that's Chin Hui, and she's sitting on that women's doubles match.
Service over 13-9.
There was some power and some venom in that shot from Wang.
30.
And she's played on in the injury timeout period that Wang Yilu had. She played 4 tournaments in the European, 3 tournaments in Europe, and then Australian Open with the former World Junior Champion Feng Yangji. They started out very well and then sort of fainted a little bit, but still a very good experience for Feng, having such a strong partner. Oi, that's good work.
Service over 14-10.
Well, I mentioned that 5 of the 7 meetings have been straight game wins. To go back to All England in 2019 to find the last time there was a 3-game contest between these pairs. And on that occasion, Tan and Lai won the first game, lost the next 2. They're in good shape here to grab the advantage early with a 4-point cushion.
And if you're watching this match, you'll be in doubt as to who is 7-0 up in the head-to-heads. But it is Huang Dongping and Wang Yilu, the Olympic champions. But it's also visible that so far Wang Yilu hasn't really found his game yet, which is understandable.
Nice little touch at the net.
Service over 12-16.
And by the way, Huang and Wang won the other Korea tournament, the Korea Masters, the week after that Tan and Lai had won Korea Open. Got their only tournament winner this year.
Service over 17-12.
Well, the way things have been developing here, it makes me wonder whether Wang Yilu would have opted to play if this was a tournament where they needed to enter. This is an invitational tournament for the best 8 pairs in the World Tour ranking. Get everything paid, flight tickets, hotels, allowances for meals and so on, but it's also mandatory that they play unless they are seriously injured. All of these speculations might be totally in vain if they go on a run now and win in straight games, but so far I think it's valid to wonder whether they would in fact have entered or taken the extra break, 3 more weeks of practice back home. That's how we normally see him, Wang Yilu.
15-18. Change. Blank.
Important couple of rallies coming up now. Oi, oi, oi.
16-18.
We didn't see the service, but it must have been really, really good, because there it is. Oi, what a beauty of a serve. Tan could do nothing but play it upwards. Yeah.
Well, a few points ago, it looked like this game had gone for the Chinese pair, but fought their way back to within a single point now. They look to have regained the momentum here.
Yeah, right now it's advantage China in terms of momentum. Another great serve. Wow.
18-all.
Well, that's perhaps one of the things that you can still practice even if you're suffering from a rib injury.
So 6 successive points for the Chinese pair. Well, that was a misjudgment though, that was on the line.
1 point challenge. Okay. Service over 19-18.
It looked like he could have played it if he wanted to.
I'm sure he could.
Oi! Took the top of the tape, the service return from Huang Dongping. Maybe it didn't. Just tumbled a little bit.
Well, weight of shot told, and having been down by a big margin in this opening game, Wang and Huang now have a game point themselves.
Eight of the last 9 points. That's really impressive. And so much for my theories.
I think 18-11, wasn't it, at one stage? That's a very, very good shot. Have to get that right when you're game point down.
Yeah, that's courageous play. I feel Tannen Lai's whole tournament hangs on this first game here.
Next few points here.
Yeah.
Well, interesting move to go for the flicker there.
21.
And here's a game point for the Malaysians.
That's well played. No, it's called off.
Well, they're challenging, and I think they have to. If it's anywhere close, you've really got to make sure that Hawkeye confirms the call, and that's what they're doing. So it could be game if any part of this has caught the line.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Not particularly close, but I think at that stage of the game, you may as well ask the question.
Yeah, because, I mean, when do you not challenge? I mean, you've got to have a second opinion there. So much at stake.
Didn't see that mistake coming.
Yeah, I think Huang Dongping got a little bit insecure there and was uncertain about how quick her partner was. And this is a situation that he needs Wang Yilu to forget about the injury worries that he's been through. To sort of just, he's so invested in the match that...
So game point number 2 for Tan and Lai. And they've got there. 23 points to 21. And after that fight back from Wang and Huang, that is a super effort from the two Malaysians, who now lead by 1 game to none.
有的包括这个电线，你让人出去，你不要在这等着就被抽，你人不抽住，我这腰两边打，那你得踩在这里，他哪有情况？人是那种东西，他们就是一道的。邱老师把你借你一揽断到你别去打，现在这个球，哇，他刚刚讲这个。
不用磨球，这球套大家都一样，没事你就打，反正刚刚打了几个，
后面几个他打死你就走了，他位置要给他上去。
你说加力，
直线的不过来跟，明白吗？然后你这个一等等一下，这个跳不往前，OK？
Second game, level, play.
Oh,
She overjumped that one.
One low.
just suspect that Wang and Huang are going to reassert here in this second game. So much hard work in the opener, having come back from 18-11 down to lead 19-18.
Yeah, that's what they should take courage from and realize that when the pace goes up, when Wang Yilu can increase the pace in his game, then they're at an advantage. The question mark is, if I'm correct, I'm not 100% certain that it was his ribs that was the problem, but is he back at full smash power? I think we've seen sometimes that he's holding back a little bit. They're waiting for a better opportunity in the mid-court area, and if the Malaysians pick up on that, which I'm sure they might have if that's the case, that he's not as dangerous as the previous meetings they've played him, then that could be one of the areas where Tanan Lai is going to try and exploit it, even though I think they're going to focus a lot on maintaining the initiative and the attack.
2-3.
But this first game, it was so important for the two Malaysians, because imagine if they had lost it 18-12 up, and you know that when it's group stage play and there's two pairs that progresses to the next to the knockout stage, it's so important. Even if you lose a match, if you lose it in 3 games, it's much better than losing in straight games. If you lose in straight games, then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Pairs or individual players in the singles event, if they're level on points in a group, then games is the potential determining factor.
4-3.
Big smash he's got, Tan Kian Meng there. Good play by Huang Dongping.
Service over 4-0.
Taking that off the top of the tape.
Service over 5-4.
And it's a good development from Tan and Lai. They've played Chinese pairs that are within top 30 of the world ranking. They've played them 23 times. They've only got one win against the Chinese pair within top 30. That was against Lu Kai and Chen Lu. So far a positive performance. Oi.
6-5.
Ace from Huang Dongping. Yeah. Brilliant serve.
Seven, 5.
Not a surprise though with the flicker there, I think.
8-5. And Tan is making the sort of waited complaint to the service judge. I didn't see anything wrong with Huang Dongping's serve, but you've got to complain, hope to build up an atmosphere where you can get a call eventually.
They were able to get out the way there, I think, like Pei Ching. Suddenly heard the hoof prints behind her and got off to the side and allowed her partner to finish it off. See this in a minute. There she goes. All yours, partner.
Seven, 8.
I think Tan's doing much better in his play into the net from the mid-court positions. Much better touch than we've seen him previously.
Eight, all. Out. Service over 9-8.
Well, still enough errors coming from the Chinese side of the net to give Tan and Lai some encouragement.
10-9.
Definitely strong play from the Malaysians.
Shake of the head there from Wang. Clearly not impressed with the way he and his partner are playing. Now, he did not move particularly well for that at all, did he, Wang? Let's watch this again. He mentioned that he might still be slightly concerned with potential injuries, but he was very slow and a little awkward to get across to that.
Oi. Brilliant.
Stunning touch from Wang. A narrow lead then for the Chinese at the mid-game break.
Wipe the court, please. Court 120 seconds.
下来，东平就能跟上去。你现在他老是打空场，没有什么好控制。我们两个对平这种速度起来，啪对平上脚啊。
11-10, blank.
We saw that Chin Hui now have left the women's double that has just finished on court 2. Malaysians lost that match to Jong and Kim. Now fully invested in this mixed doubles here. Oi.
12-10.
It's not long. I think there's drift coming from Tan and Lai towards Huang and Bang, and that makes it difficult for the Malaysians to control their shots to the back court.
It's over. 11-30.
Tad careless.
They normally stand quite a good defense, the Olympic champions, but Tan has really powered his way through most of the times in this match so far. Ooh.
Service over. 14-12.
One of the question marks is also if the Malaysians, if they can psychologically cope with this, that they're close to perhaps getting a first win over the Olympic champions. We saw in Denmark Open when they played their compatriots, who's also in the World Tour finals here, Sun Huat and Xion Jemmy Lai. They were a game and 16-10 up, and then 20-16 in the third game up, and ended up losing anyway. And I think there's signs that the game is deteriorating a little bit, perhaps starting to think too much about result instead of how you want to perform, how you want to play.
Momentum has completely turned around here. It's the Chinese in control with a 5-point lead.
17.
And here they get Tan to move whilst hitting, and that opens up for brilliant defensive shots like that from Huang Dongping. Boy, that's a good shot.
That is over. 13-17. Service over 18-30.
So just 3 points away now from levelling up the match.
So it's gone long. Very difficult to control the shot. Live paging, and it also says something about how well Huang Dongping and Huang Yilu did it in the first game. Controlling the drift.
Game point 30.
So 7 game points, tied up at 1 game all.
Service over 14-20. Game.
Well, that was a very comprehensive second game victory for the Chinese pair. They tied up at 1 apiece, 21-14. And with the energy and the momentum and the superiority we saw in that game, you would be, I think, a brave man to bet against them, taking the decider.
Ready? Final game. Love all. Play.
So you just get the feeling that Tan and Lai are going to have to produce something exceptional here, because the way that the Chinese pair rattled through that second game did not bode well for the Malaysians.
Out. Service over 1 love.
Wide of the middle line, that service from Huang Dongping, and I agree, Trevor. It's going to be difficult for Lai and Tan. It's going to be a huge battle for the net here in the beginning of the first game, I suspect. Alert by Huang Dongping. Look at the spring in the step she had coming forward there.
Play.
In the first part here, Tan and Lai should have a little advantage, though, that they can play the back court of the Chinese pair. Well, apparently they can't, but they should be able to.
2-1.
Just come on.
Service over 2-all.
They seem to stop all of a sudden, that cross-court shot there. I was thinking that's going to go wide.
Well, seeing is believing. It's just inside the line.
Good play.
That was past line before she even had time to react, I think.
Service over 3-all. Service over 4-3.
This has got to be sharper now, Lai Peijing. Maybe it's too harsh on her because we're sitting quite high over the court. I think it was too harsh, but if she can make her presence felt a little bit more and put away a couple of shots at the net, that would be really, really helpful for the Malaysians. Yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah, that looked potentially like it might have been out.
Yeah, I was almost saying both lengthwise and sidewise. I think it's gone long on the back line.
Called in, and it was.
Wow.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over 5-4. Play. Service over 5-4.
Hawkeye sound on here, that's because it's a challenge from court 2.
Service over 6-5.
Hawkeye on both courts here in the Nimbuta arena. Great play by Huang Dongping and Wang Yilu. One of the differences between these two pairs is that the Chinese pair is perfectly capable of playing in the opposite formation with Huang Dongping at the back court.
Service over 7-6.
gone long.
8-6.
Very good defense by Lai Pei-Jing.
9-6. Service over, 7-9.
Well, just giving themselves a little hope here, the Malaysians.
Confusion. Oh, she missed it.
Service over, 10-7.
That was a don't worry, partner, we'll get him the next time. A little pat on the back from Wang.
And for these two here, it's about creating as big a lead as possible before the change of ends.
Service over, 8-10.
Well, it's a handy lead. 11 points to 8 at the mid-game break in this decider. And Tan and Lai have a genuine chance of finally breaking their duck against Wang and Huang at the 8th attempt.
Done. 11-8. Blank.
So a moment of truth now for the Malaysians. Don't want to keep their nerve. That's a positive start from their point of view.
Yeah, and the battle for the initiative, the battle for the net has just been sort of increased here with the Malaysian lead. Yeah, good play.
13-8.
So if they're not on top of the service situation, Huang and Wang, they need to see if they can maneuver Tan Kin Meng on the backcourt, put pressure on him movement-wise.
Well, this could not have started any better, could it, for,
No.
for Tan and Lai? Just a minute or so after the mid-game break, 3 points in a row, and suddenly there's daylight on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Clear daylight.
That's a dream opening to the second part of the third game here.
Thank you. $14-8.
That's well done by Tan Kin-ming. That's what I feel that he's
15-8.
become much better in. These soft and flat exchanges in the service situation. Ooh.
Out. Service over
Now, this is a
9-15.
scoreline that I feel could be worth remembering. Service error, 15-8 up. Service error. That could change the momentum.
Ten, 15.
Live pitching, jumping up and down outside of the picture. Good control.
Just basically steered that onto the line, didn't he? That was incredibly deliberate, wonderfully executed shot. Ooh.
And I think there's sideways drift as well. It looked like he started it outside the line. Sideways drift right to left. Good play. It's the service return that does the trick there, because it sends Tan Kin-ming pretty much below knee height for the third shot, and he's too tall a player to be comfortable there. Excellent.
12-16. Thank you. Light, come here. Light, come here. Don't take time between the shot, between the rallies. When you receive, make them understand that you are ready. Come, okay? Left. 12-16.
That's a bad mistake by Tan Kin-ming. That's a rally they were had like 95% chance of winning on the lift coming here, and then it's an immediate loser. Good play.
Service over 17-30.
Just get the impression it's as much about an exercise in nerve holding than it is in badminton technique or shot making now. It's whether they actually believe they can bring the victory home from this position. 4 points clear, 4 points needed. Opponents playing below their optimum level.
It's great play. Excellent backhand shots and forehand, very little backswing on it from Tan Kin-ming. Really good. Oi, what a service return by Huang Dongping.
Made it look ridiculously easy as well.
And I think they've become aware of the scoreline again. The two players from Malaysia, 18-13, I think that was when they thought, okay, there's a chance. And they needed a little bit of luck, I suspect.
Long.
16-18.
Yeah, that's well played.
Trying to kind of crawl across the line here, aren't they? Rather than sprint over it, but it doesn't matter as long as they can get there. 19-16. How much do they genuinely believe they can win this match? Why serving?
Good play.
And now they have 4 match points to try and record a first victory over Wang and Huang at the 8th time of asking.
And they had 2016, 2 months ago in Denmark Open against their compatriots. Still ended up losing, so this is not at all over.
It's over now. Voodoo has been broken as far as Tan and Lai are concerned. An unlikely victory for the Malaysians, 21-16 in the 3rd game. And that sets them up perfectly, potentially, for a chance to get into the semi-finals here at the World Tour Finals. Shock defeat for the world ranked number 4 pair, Wang and Huang. Were not at their best, that's for certain. But nonetheless, Tan and Lai deserve a lot of credit for beating a pair they had never previously got the better of. See what it means there to Lai Beijing and to Tan Kian Mang as well. Just around about an hour the match time. And the final score, they win 23-21, 14-21, 21-16. There you see, exactly an hour on court. And as they depart, we invite you to stay with us. We've got men's singles action coming next as Jonathan Christie takes on Anthony Ginting. Back in a moment. Well, a warm welcome back to the Unlimited Arena. Way back in 1963. This venue, Used it for gymnastics and handball and boxing and plenty of other things as well. So 3 matches in, and it's time for some singles action. Men's singles, Jonathan Chris